Ladies and gents, welcome in. It's been good to be back. Soccer Saturday, and what a game we have on our hands. The ever-entertaining Nottingham Forest with now the ever-entertaining Ange Postecoglou on the touchline. And we've also got Arsenal, who are constantly the theme of much investigation and much opinionated beliefs. A proper classic lunchtime fixture. Great to have everyone in, whether you're on Assist or on YouTube. Soccer Saturday on both platforms. Have a very, very exciting clash tomorrow. We've got Torino and Roma on our Super Sunday fixture, but the focus is here today in England once again. Are Arsenal up for it? Or can that man there, Ange Postecoglou, deliver the goods in his first game in charge for Nottingham Forest? It's a game that has a lot going on the pitch as well as off the pitch. Just make sure everything is in readiness for this one, because we're in for a big one. All right. Oh, it's looking good on the socials. If you're joining us here, let us know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I think Arsenal flexed their muscles today. I've gone with a 3-0 win in my predictions, and I'm very glad to see that Emirates is getting a go from the start. The Arsenal product back to the club and back on the starters list. Obviously, they last time out had a disappointing result away at Liverpool, that 1-0 loss. They really didn't show what they're all about. Christian Mosquera alongside Gabriel today. Martin Zubimendi and Mikel Moreno playing midfield. Declan Rice picking up a knock. Martin Odegaard will play in behind the front three of Madueke, Gyökeres and Eze. All three new signings. All three ready to take this game by the scruff of the neck. We've got Ben White, Piero Hincapié, Trossard, Martelli, Ethan Nwaneri, Declan Rice must make the bench. And then MLS on there as well. There's Ange, and this is his first Forest side. No other Aina, he got a bit of a knock playing for Nigeria, so Morato fills in at full back. Milenkovic, Murillo in the heart of the defence as always. Nico Williams resumes his normal position, the Welshman. Sangare alongside Elliot Anderson means no Douglas Luiz from the start yet again. Morgan gives White the skipper in behind Chris Wood. And obviously you've got the width and the speed of Dan Ndoye and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Make sure that's on focus. We don't be disturbed by foot mob today. Ryan Yates, Amari Hutchinson, Callum Wendu, Douglas Luiz, James McAtee, Bolly are names from the bench. But he's back. The Greek Australian on the touchline. He's going to give us excitement. He's going to give us plenty of talking points. But can he finally get the better of Mikel Arteta's side? Welcome back. Oh, welcome back. Game is very much back here. I'm pumped for this game here. Eberechi Eze, as much as I loved him in a Crystal Palace uniform, he's always great to watch. I'm happy to see him in an Arsenal uniform. It does hurt though seeing him in the red of Arsenal. Not an entertaining team, but he could be the spark today that brings that energy, that intensity, and that exciting attacking football to the Emirates. Because what we've seen so far this season from Arsenal is very underwhelming. I'm wanting them to break the shackles and really go after this game here. That's why I've gone them for a 3-0 victory. I think they really get the better of Ange Postecoglou's side there. Like Jedinak still, the second-hand man. 3-3 draw, Elijah. Holy. If we get that, I'll be amazed. But I'm here for it. We've had some crazy Forest games with the live streams. I remember back to last season, that 7-0 demolition of Brighton that we're here sitting and watching. So we might get something very similar yet again. Great to have everyone involved here. Good to see you all again. We have our game back. We have football back. Club football is back. North London forever sung. It'll be Forest to get us kicked off here. A massive 8-game Premier League Saturday. And we're about to get underway. The Premier League is back. A short hiatus for a weekend. But we have our game back. It's Nottingham Forest in their white strip, kicking from right to left. And it's Arsenal in the traditional red from left to right. And Matt Sells sends it into touch from the start. I'm locking in. It's the great lock-in of the end of the year, Elijah. So the buzz cuts out in force. And what's an afternoon for it here in London? Here's Morgan Gibbs White. Will we get the high lines of Ange Postecoglou? Will we get the relentless attacking of Ange Postecoglou? Will we get a sort of middle point between what Nuno did, which is counter-pressing and counter-attacks, and the all-out attack of Ange Bowl? Nottingham Forest once again in from the start. Emirates Eze as well. And we get a chance to see Mosquera alongside Gabriel once more. Interesting to see how the former Valencia centre-half goes. Played very well last season for the Spanish side, guiding that team from the relegation all the way up into the top half. Here comes Milenkovic. Poor turnover at the back from Gabriel. Callum Hudson-Odoi can drive. Drop it into Morgan Gibbs-White. Look to slip the ball in behind for the New Zealander, Chris Woody. Scored on international duty against the Australians last week. Nico Williams now. Good start to this game for Nottingham Forest. Kept the ball well in the opening minute and a half. Arsenal looking like they're going to employ Mikel Moreno higher up the pitch as a second to the number 10 alongside Martin Odegaard. So that's a watch as this game goes on. Interesting to see, though, how this game progresses. The win probability heavily in favour of the Gunners. But we've seen these stats not truly come to fruition across the last few games this season. Let us know your score prediction, guys, if you're joining us in the assist chat or in the YouTube chat. Great to hear your thoughts in this one here. As we kick off a crazy Saturday from the Premier League. A couple more London derbies to come as well. Here's Martin Odegaard. He drops a little bit deeper to pick that ball up and find the Spaniard Mikel Moreno, who once again was a threat to the back of the net for Spain in internationals as well. So Emirates has lost his shoe there. It's like boots or slippers these days. That's why a lot often they come off. But there's Mikel Arteta on the screen. Lots of pressure you feel on him. It's been a solid start to the year, but far from entertaining. And far from that free attacking football which we expected. Didn't see it versus United. Didn't see it versus Liverpool. I did, Elijah, but I could have no idea who the bloke was until the other day. Ball in behind. Calafiori does well enough. He's made the left back starting spot his own. Feels like this season. Eze. You're in timber now. Here come Arsenal. We've got Dan and Doy down. And this doesn't look good. He is grabbing at that calf. I don't know if he's injured or looking for a foul. I think he's looking for a foul. He's got a massive tear in the socks, what he has got. A bit of a coming together with Riccardo Calafiori. First little spot fire in this game here. There's Ange in the touchline. What can we expect from him this season. He said, I also win trophies in my first season as well. I think Forest fans want to hear that. They really think they're a chance for the Europa League, and maybe that's where Angelo Marinakis wanted that replacement in Ange Postecoglou. A man he likes to do well in cup competitions. Here's Mikel Moreno into the feet of Martin Odegaard. Try to shuffle out of his feet. Couldn't find Eberechi Eze. Gabriel's done well. Now finding Odegaard. The ball now with Noni Madueke far right. Cutting inside and dinking that ball in. Had to be dealt with by Murillo. Picked up well by Elliot Anderson under pressure from Yuri and Timber. Hudson-Odoi is forced out of play. Better from Arsenal. Just sort of working their way into this game, 5.5 minutes into it. Forest made the early running. Arsenal settling now. That's just a lazy challenge from Chris Wood, and that's not a smart spot to give away a set piece, especially for the set piece kings of Arsenal. Gabriel just knew the contact was coming, put his body in between Wood and the football, and that's probably the easiest decision the referee will have to make all day. The Arsenal players congregating at the back of this Nottingham Forest wall. It's a wall of white and then a big clump of red at the back post. Odegaard over it, left-footed ball. You'd expect to be whipped in here. It's floated in. It's not dealt with. It's Mikel Moreno. What a save themselves. Whoa, what a moment. And the keeper was up to it and gives White's in well. Timber better. Anderson can't escape. Hooked ball. Dan and Doy chasing. Zubimendi cleaning up. What's a moment already for Arsenal. Another set piece. And more danger. Marino ball dealt with by Murillo. But only out as far for an Arsenal corner. Already Matt Sell's caught into action. What a save that was. It was Sangare who his header went to Marino and he's got a score from there. You're probably going to think 1-1 with the goalkeeper. A lot of goal to hit. And Sells just makes himself big enough. Odegaard seems to be in a spot of bother here. That's not a great start for the skip, who's been dealing with his shoulder injuries of his own. A fast old start there for Arsenal and a massive and important save for Matt Sells. Not happy with his Nottingham Forest teammates allowing that chance so easy. In the first opening moments of this game here, you think you have to be better than that. Especially with an Arsenal side that's in some fiery form at the start of this game. Odegaard looks in discomfort, but not enough to be forced off. And here comes an Arsenal penalty because it's a corner kick. It'll be Madueke's left-footed ball when Martin Odegaard departs the pitch. Like we often see, Arsenal players all congregate the back post. Gyökeres, Calafiori, Mosquera, Marino, Gabriel as well. They'll run towards the front post now. That's a massive headed opportunity. Headed wide from Gabriel. He's normally so good from those positions. Really nice floated ball. And I tell you what, in the end, he has to be better. gets rid of down in door and he gets a free run at it. Once he's in this spot, you really think you have to score. Big chance once again missed for the Gunners. Might let a guy back on. So no problems there with his shoulder. Murillo looking for Morgan Gibbs White, but only finds Yuri and Timber. For a minute there, Milankovic had committed and Madueke thought he could get him behind. But the touch was heavy. Right, so back in the side today. Ola Aina missing. Now he's in push out to left back today. Arsenal just sharpening themselves in this opening 11 or so minutes. They started, as I said, slightly slower. Nottingham Forest had a good opening 3 minutes, but since then, it's been all Arsenal. Poor throw from Calafiori, Hudson-Odoi. Now Dan Ndoye. The two Bologna teammates. Oh, dangerous ball in, but Raya's done well. He releases quickly. Looks to set Arsenal on their way. And we've got replays instead of the actual game. Here we go. Gabriel's touch heavy. They've looked a little bit shaky at the back today, Arsenal. That ball's come out of Ibrahima Sangare. Calafiori throw to get us back underway. But you can often see this in Arsenal games. I have little lulls and then passes where they pick up the speed. Quite industrious midfield from Arsenal today. They've got Odegaard in there. There's a tricky one. But Marino and Zubimendi will give you that brute force. Madueke search for again. Easily past Morato. Ball towards the back post. Marino was in there. Just over his head. But that looks like the matchup. Madueke's got the agility, got the speed. And the beating of Morato. Just dropped the shoulder and looked to get past it. That ball fizzed into Elliot Anderson. He's so good in this position here. What's a ball to find? Morgan Gibbs White. Spreading the play now to Nico Williams. Anderson. That's a poor giveaway from him. Some of his standard. Zubimendi. Also look to once again get the ball back under their own spell. We saw a lot of this versus Leeds United in that second game where they probably played their best, most attacking game of football. Slower start, build into it, get touch of the football around 11 the players, and then from there they just, once they're ready, they scored the first. The avalanche came. But we know that with Arsenal, the first goal is so important for them. Frees the shackles, teams don't have to sit as deep. Some space to operate. I think a day where Vita Gyökeres might have to even bail them out if Nottingham Forest stay tight defensively. Might have to do it here. He's won the ball back of Morazzo. Now it's Eberechi Eza. And deflected and collected by Sells. And for a moment, Morazzo was a very, very nervy man. He let this ball bounce. And in a flash, the Swedish was there. We've seen Eze do that a lot of times in his career so far, cutting inside and smashing that ball across the goal with his right foot. Not to be there, though. That possession and attempt stat. So it tells the story. 60% possession to the Gunners, 40 to Forest, and it's 3 attempts to none at this current point in time. So far, so good for them. A quarter of an hour in, the biggest chance of all being that Mikel Moreno one-on-one with Matt Sells, who very smartly made himself big and got something on that ball, which was directed goalward. Zubimendi got away from Elliot Anderson. Here come Arsenal now. Odegaard try to fizz one in behind for Gyökeres, but only as far as the hands and feet of Matt Sells. Murillo. They're asking a lot of Dan and Doy and Chris Wood up there. They're flying and fizzing balls up there. Very hard to control. Gibbs White's done well there. Nico Williams searching for Dan and Doy. The other former Bologna player in Calafiori wins that one. Eze does well. Skips past Nico Williams. Odegaard was put under a lot of pressure. So was Mosquera, but Arsenal keep possession. Better from the Gunners here. Madueke. Morato then backpedals to the third centre half. Elliot Anderson over to chop that ball out. Clear to see though. That Madueke match up alongside Morato is going to be their go-to. Arsenal. Looks like Odegaard's day might be done here. Ethan Nwaneri is readying himself. The messages are being made very clear. Just wondering, yeah, they've gone back to this incident here, the shoulder land on the side that was troubling him. But to be fair, I have been very harsh on him this season. He's done okay in patches, but this is a great chance to see Ethan Nwaneri. Good 75 minutes of the young superstar. Off comes Odegaard. On comes a superstar young kid. He'll play in that little pocket in behind the centre forwards. A role promised to us in pre-season, a role teased to us, but now he will get the go. What a year this could be. I think a 17-year-old now these days. Still so much football ahead of him, but if he starts to play well in this space in behind the striker, it could be his position going forward. Mosquera. Colombian finding the Brazilian Gabriel. He can get away from Wood. To drop it off to Mikel Moreno and misplace that pass. Here comes Morgan Gibbs White. Skip past Zubimendi, but not past Mikel Moreno. See, the Liga core in this Arsenal side right now with Mosquera, Zubimendi, Marino. The Odegaard as well. Mosquera. Calafiori inverting into midfield. Zubimendi, the deepest midfielder. But it's Nwaneri and Marino playing as the higher two. Here is the youngster turning away from Elliot Anderson. Finding Noni Madueke. Morato's at the pull his shirt, and that's probably it, I think, for him. That's the last warning. They've gone quickly. It's Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri. And Forest get back, and Nwaneri's pass is out of the way of Urian Timber. Promising. The end product, though. We approach the halfway point of this first 45. So once again, a lot of possession here, though, for Arsenal. I want to see them a little bit more expansive and advancing. Get the ball out of the centre half's feet, get the ball into midfield areas. So when Nwaneri, Zubimendi and Mikel Moreno pick up that ball in the half turn, that's when Arsenal look at their best. I want Forrester to come onto them and then give them space like this, where Noni Madueke can run out. And Morato here. Elite Ange have to come across once more to support. Madueke continues down the line. That pass in Gyökeres broke up by Murillo. And he has no one to go to. So it's repelled, but only as far as the halfway line. Here come Arsenal again with Calafiori. The Italian looking for and finding Eberechi Eze. He's had a half moment in this opening 20 minutes, but nothing of note as of yet. His first start for the Gunners. A massive Champions League tie midweek as well to worry about. Madueke chopping onto the right foot. Dinking the ball in. Gyökeres got a head to it. But out for a goal kick. Sel's taking every second to get that ball back underway. It's Murillo to find Morato. He's had one old shaky start to time as a wing back. Hudson-Odoi couldn't get away from Mosquera. And Wanyeri. What we've cut. Yeah. I think we're back underway. A minute there. Thought we lost it. Woke nonsense, ref cam. Madueke kept that ball. He's kept it alive as well. Murillo had to make an important challenge. Arsenal look like they're just heating up a little bit more. More pressure building on this Nottingham Forest backline, who so far have held up okay. Madueke has been the man so far. Can he be the man to create this goal for another dangerous Arsenal corner kick? Gabriel, Gyökeres, Calafiori. Mosquera there as well. They steam towards the front post. Ball in. Dealt with. Only fast Wanyeri. Blocked away by the Forest. Back line there. Now with the Spaniard Zubimendi. Milenkovic meets it. Ange, great take. He can turn and go. Meets the Italian wall. Riccardo Calafiori. Better though from Forest. And they get some possession in some dangerous areas, and winning a throw or a foul on this end of the pitch is important for them. Important for their build-up play. Haven't really got to see much of Ange ball as of yet because I haven't seen much of Forest in the football. Chris Wood hasn't had much of it. Dan Doy's had little half moments, but they've been starved of chances. Murillo, this free kick now for Forest. 20 to go in this first half. Maybe now's a chance here for Nottingham Forest. It's really been a quiet first half for them. But can this team score a set piece against the set piece Kings? Floated in. Milenkovic's region, but dealt with by Yuri and Timber. Once again, it's looked rock solid at right back. He has been fabulous in that role there. Came in as a centre half or a left back, and since joining Arsenal, become one of the great right backs in the league. Just showing his versatility and his quality with and without the football. Matt Sells now searching long in the wood direction. He finds him. Holds that ball up well. Releases it to Hudson-Odoi. Elliot Anderson. That was a careless challenge from Nottingham Forest. Ball gives White. That's a better ball. But too heavy in the end, and Nico Williams couldn't get on the end of it. Another chance wasted by Nottingham Forest. Really is a Arsenal type game. We have seen not much entertainment as of yet. Ball fizzed into Gyökeres. That's better. Great touch to find Mikel Moreno. Here come Arsenal. It's Madueke at the back post. Gyökeres joins in. Waits almost too long, Mikel Moreno, in the end. Probably the wrong decision. Timber. With Mosquera. Fans wanting urgency. I'm wanting urgency as well. Oh, great little interplay there from Nwaneri. Finding Zubimendi. He's drifted further forward. It's Martin Zubimendi. It's Eberechi. Shot blocked. Blocked out of play for a throw. Better from Arsenal, though. Give and go from Nwaneri. Zubimendi committing himself forward. That's what Arsenal need. A willingness to go and send bodies up the pitch and actually willing to take the game on. Nwaneri. Really strong from the kid here to keep away from Elliot Anderson. Advantage paid. Marino. For Forest, it seems to be only Elliot Anderson out there really competing. The back line done a good job, but not much to talk about. Here's Victor Gyökeres. Touch got away from him. Madueke feeds in the Swedish. And a great chance for Murillo to keep that ball from entering the 6-yard box. Forest backs out ups against the wall. Arsenal doing all the hunting. Third corner for the Gunners of the game. Look dangerous from every single corner they've taken, like they always do. Madueke again. Another dangerous spot. Oh. It's come off of Forest's head because that's gone out for another corner. Here in Timber, head and hands. Got him there from the front post, and it's, I think his flicked header that just comes off one of the Forest players and out. Madueke's whip dealt with by Morazzo. Another chance for Madueke towards that back post region. Stells does well. Another corner again for Arsenal. Pressure builds once more. Another in-swinger, this time from Ezra. As I said, targets are plenty in there. It's lofted in towards the back post. Sells, flaps his hand and gets it away. Madueke picks up the scraps. Gets passed down Ndoye with ease. Madueke still Madueke. The cutback was on, but Murillo was there. And Yuri Timber thought he had a chance, but Arsenal again continue to knock on the door. Important foot in there for Murillo because, yeah, as I said, Yuri Timber was there to score. And those Forest bodies are battered and bruised right now because they are under an Arsenal avalanche. It's been attack after attack after attack. Can they outlast his onslaught of Arsenal balls into the area? Madueke again. Dealt with again. Oh, what a hit! Martin Zubimendi! Woo-hoo-hoo! Something out of this world! He was going to need it to break down his Forest backline, but Martin Zubimendi struck it sweet. And a rifle past Matt Sells. Simply sensational for the Spanish international. Out of this world. And the former Sociedad man lights this game up with a sumptuous strike. It comes out to be cuts on the full and whoa. Is that hit well? It takes a nick on the way through, but don't take that away from the strike itself. That was hit with so much quality. He kept his head over the football, drilled it in low and hard, and Sells, well, he almost broke his fingers because that was a rocket. Zubimendi breaks a deadlock, and what a way to do so. And what a way to score your first goal for Arsenal Football Club. Martin Zubimendi, take a bow at some hit. I feel like we're going to take something special to get past this Forest backline. If that's not special, I don't know what special is. Zubimendi lights his game up. One 0 to the Arsenal. And Murillo's in a bit of trouble. It just feels like Arsenal's way, don't they? They find a way to score goals from different avenues to different people. It can be critical in their front line and, you know, the signings of Madueke and Gyökeres and are they going to perform, but they always seem to find a way through different characters, different people. And today it's going to be Martin Zubimendi, it looks like. And I said at the start of the game, so important, that first goal. A bit of an injury interruption here, so the assist people, I'll be back in a sec. Here's from up in the heavens. Looks even better from up there as well. Look at Madueke's reaction. He loved it. We all loved it. Something out of this world from Zubimendi. Murillo looks like he's good to go. We're back underway here. Just over 10 minutes to go. A goal that Arsenal desperately craved and they got. Now it's all for Forest to do. What can those tricky trees produce? What can Ange conjure up on the touchline there? And will it be enough with that as well? Like, have they got enough here to get the better of this side? Really coming on. He's in a lot of discomfort. You can see him hobbling there. He's no good. Willie Bolly obviously on the bench for Nottingham Forest. They might need some help. He is struggling. Milinkovic wins that ball. Not again for Delamendi. Oh, was dipping. I'll tell you what, you can have a pop after that first one. It was dropping out the sky, and he said, I'll have a look. And it's on its way down. It's not quite enough dip. Really done, it looks like. On comes Savona, the former Juve man, to come on. And Savona will drop into his traditional position of right back. Nico Williams will come across. I think Morata will drop in as a centre-half partner to Milinkovic, which probably actually works out for Forest because Morata was having all sorts of problems. Stopping Noni Madueke, and it's almost like wherever Ange goes, injuries follow because we've now got two major key players for Forest out injured. Aina in the internationals, and now arguably the most important player on this side, Murillo. And you'd be saying, why always me? It's just his luck, isn't it? Forest going to have to make things happen now without their superstar centre-half. Anderson lofts that ball towards the back post. As a man handled and foul given accordingly. He's in some serious discomfort, Murillo. Looking like a thigh or knee problem. Oh, great move. Marino playing Gyökeres. It's great one-touch stuff from Arsenal now. They are in the ultimate driver's seat right now. One to the good and can just dictate the play, can keep the ball now. There is no need to go out there and score a goal. You've got that goal. You can go and protect it. And that's where Arsenal play their best football. We'd love to see them go and attack, but that's just not the Arsenal way. They don't operate that way. Never have under Mikel Arteta. Ball from Raya out of play. The stats there are just so one-sided. 10 attempts to 0. 70% of the ball to 30. Here comes Dan and Doy though. Can he change this? That's very poor. That almost sums up their day. So poor in the build-up. Love to see the touches for the likes of Chris Wood and Gibbs White after half time, because Forest have really struggled to keep the ball. Is this a chance now for Dan Ndoye? Second time's the charm potentially. The Swiss steaming on and looking to find his other former Serie A teammate in Savona. It is Forest's first corner of the game. Anderson over the cross to take this one here. Gee, they'll take this one. It'll be a proper snatch and grab. They can score from this corner kick. Their first of the game, yet to have an attempt on goal. There is targets in there. It's a great whip. Tail whip by Gabriel. Sangare can clean up. Nico Williams now back at left back. This was pressing really well. That's forced Forest all the way back. But here's a chance. Dan Ndoye's got him behind. One way then the next. Scary with him every step of the way. Hudson-Odoi now. Nico Williams. This is the first time we've seen Forest actually possess the ball near their final third since the opening 3 minutes. Anderson. That's a very poor misplaced pass. He goes and wins it back though. That's what you know you're going to get with Elliot Anderson. Sangare. Bit of keepy off there with Hudson-Odoi. Now Nico Williams. Madueke across them. Meet him. Looking for that incisive ball. And they want a corner kick, but referee unfazed. Did he get a touch? Don't think he did, actually. I don't know what he's complaining about. And even if so, that ball had so much speed on it. It was never going to get anywhere near Nico Williams. Gyökeres dropping in. Calafiori now. That was a poor pass behind Eberechi Eze. Forest are starting to get more put together since the goal. Nice little drop off there by Chris Wood, but Ethan Wanyeri there to snap off the toes of Sangare. Timber, Madueke. And once again, it's Elliot Anderson there to make the challenge. He's had a hell of a first 45 considering how poor Forest have been. A lot of defensive work, and they've probably looked the best on the ball of any Forest player. Gibbs White, Ndoye. He's had a fair share of chances for Forest, but nothing really of any clinical gilt edge. Sangare. Gibbs White. Forest just find something. A half chance here before half time. Give them something to take it to the half. Not even a goal, just some momentum, some belief, because they've played fearful, I think is the word for it in the first half here. They've been quite poor on the football. Hasn't really been an Ange performance, but you can't really blame him. I think he's had one session with this side. Hudson got away with one there. Referee wants it taken back from the Fowlers, and Hudson-Odoi will oblige. Great one-touch stuff here from Forest. Here comes Hudson-Odoi. Can they just find a way through here? Williams. Ripped in ball met by Urian Timber. So solid defensively, Arsenal. Anderson, Hudson-Odoi. They're still looking more involved, more engaged in the last 5 or so minutes. I reckon we jump into about 5 minutes of stoppage time here because we've had a lot of injuries. Great turn for Elliot Anderson. Looking to find Chris Wood. It's come back to the central midfielder. Gibbs White. Wood, Gibbs White. Oh, much better move from Forest. That was some of their best. Anderson, Gibbs White and Wood all involved. That's a good sign for the Nottingham Forest fans. It's a really great layoff from Chris Wood. I tell you what, you're in timber. An important challenge. I think if he's in there, Gibbs White picks his spot and probably finds the back of the net. Better from Forest, though. They've had a good last 5 minutes of this first half. We've got 7 of stoppage time to come. Definitely a chance for another big opportunity for Nottingham Forest. I also just want to see it out, take the sting out of this first half and head into the main break there. With that 1-0 lead. Zubamendi. Marino. Need a pin drop the Emirates. Ranieri. Calafiori just dropping into this right-hand channel now. Madueke. Chopped inside again in his left foot. Once again met by Morazzo. Mascara happy to go back to his goalkeeper. Calafiori receives again. He wanted back here for Madueke. Doesn't get it. Madueke away from 3 challenges. He's had an absolutely stellar first half. So Mendy will take the plaudits. He'll take the acknowledgement because of his incredible goal. But Madueke has been a catalyst for Arsenal. Ranieri looking for Eze. Savona in the way. See how the former Juve man goes. In a rare chance for a start. Never quite worked out of Juve. But a real dangerous play nonetheless. Don't know how he will go considering different league, different speed to the league, but if you've got talent, not too bad in a 1v1 duel. What he has got is a real dangerous delivery into the box. Speaking of that, here comes Madueke. Mosquera now. And with Eza. Savona backpedaling. Eza. Great ball in. Oh, looking for Gyökeres. How about find the Swede? That's what Eze can do. Quick change of pace. And put that ball into a dangerous spot. Gyökeres to direct that on to target. 4 down into our 7 have added. So far, so good for Arsenal. 1 chance of Forest for Morgan Gibbs White, but it's been countless for Arsenal. Slow first 20, ignited by that Martin Zubamendi absolute screamer. Now they can go play football. Savona got lucky there because Eze was chopping at his toes. Gabriel. Interesting how Arsenal approach the second half. Do they go and try and score a second or try and protect this lead? Do they treat it like they treated that Leeds game and continue to just commit and want to attack and want to score a goal? Or do we get the Arsenal, which we often see, which is 1-0 to the Arsenal and then play defensive from there? This does have the ability to end up in a 2 or 3 goal win. Depends the way Arsenal want to play their football. Nico Williams. Rato launches. Timber doesn't quite deal with it. Sangare. Now down in Doi. Switch flanks here for the moment. The inside run made from Nico Williams. It's Gibbs White. What can the conductor put together here? Williams. Hudson-Odoi, both wingers over on this left-hand side, so they've got a bit of an overload. Can they make the most of it? Gibbs White. Back with the ever-controlling Elliot Anderson. Forest teasing us here. A minute to go in this first half. Not their best football, but Arsenal have been good. Anderson sprays that ball out to Hudson-Odoi. Can he make something happen here? Cutting inside Hudson-Odoi. Anderson. Oh, it was a dangerous looking ball to look to find Gibbs White. Too much on it. That'll see us to the end of the first half. With 20 seconds to go here, that should be half time. It's not been the most exciting of first halves, but still waiting for Forest to turn up, it feels like. Headed back for Milenkovic. You can tell by the crowd, it is dead. There you go. First half action comes to an end. Ange has got a lot of scratching of his head and a lot of thinking to be done. A dominant Arsenal display capped off by Zubamendi rocket, which he caught in the volley from outside the box. That is the decisive moment so far. His belter in the 32nd minute is the difference. Gibbs White had Forest's one and only chance in the first half. They're yet to really turn up. As it currently stands, Arsenal should cruise to victory. But what has Ange and his Forest side got up their sleeves? So 1-0 to the Arsenal at half-time. I'm going for a short break for the interval and we'll be back for second half action. Hopefully some more excitement to come in the second half. Alrighty, second half action, not too far away, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Those joining me on Assist, those joining me on YouTube. Hopefully, a bit more of an engaging second half action to come. But can't promise that. Arsenal games. Forest with all to do. Arsenal have the lead to protect. They're the storylines as we about to get kicked off for a very, very lovely London afternoon. Both managers emerged from the dugout. And it'll be Arsenal gets kicked off here for the second half. All is in readiness. We are ready to go for a second half action. Arsenal with a 1-0 lead thanks to Martin Zubimendi. They get us kicked off in their home red strip from right to left. Forest in a change cream strip from left to right. Ange Postecoglou's first game in charge has been underwhelming for Ange standards. Maybe the half-time team talk, maybe rouse the troops and get them going again. They're without Olaena, they're also without Murillo, who picked up a knock middle of the game. So they're fighting an uphill battle here. But you never know. Especially with Ange's sides. And that ball's teasing over the top of Savona. And it's in for Gyökeres! And 2-0 the Gunners! And their two new faces combine for an electric start to second half. Eza to Gyökeres. 2-0 and simply too easy for the Gunners. And that's what that man's going to do. Put the ball into the back of the net. Happens so quickly. Long ball and behind. There might be a check here for offside. Savona might be playing him on, but it looks off for me there. The fullback just misjudged the ball. Eze in behind. And Gyökeres does the rest. That's what he's there to do. The big Swede is there to score goals and punish mistakes. That's what he's done there. The check is going on as we speak. It looks touch and go. And the goal's confirmed. Arsenal are 2 to the good then. And our second half entertainment might have just been ruined because that there is probably put the game to bed. That's the perfect start with inside of a minute. "46 seconds in. That's all it took. And young Savona's debut in Forest colours, not going to be well remembered. Anderson avoids that Gyökeres challenge. Marato. Feels like more questions and answers right now for Nottingham Forest. Ange Postecoglou and also Marinakis, because to tear apart a working functional relationship or management in Nuno Espirito Santo for this. I know it's Arsenal, I know it's the first game, but very, very underwhelming for Nottingham Forest. Yuri Timber does fantastically well. The pass less so. Anderson. He's been a heartbeat for Forest in this one. Ibrahima Segare. It's the feet now of Morgan Gibbs White. Morato, Anderson. Now with Sangare. Forest need to find a response soon. It can come here through Ndoye. His ball in, met by Gabriel. He's got the captain's armband because Martin Odegaard went off in the first half, injured. Second corner kick of the game for Nottingham Forest. Elliot Anderson to deliver this right-footed outswinger. They've got Wood. They've got Morata. Got Milenkovic as well. It's just over the head of Morato. And as far as Nico Williams, just hoops it up into the London sky. Falls to Milenkovic. Savona keeps a hold of that ball. And runs into trouble. Marina does very well. Still on here. Great one-touch stuff, and they've got out of danger. Maybe Arsenal can go now. The tricky little back of Madueke misplaced. Now Arsenal start to flex their muscles. That's when Arsenal get to become a little bit more entertaining. Once they've sort of got the game under wraps, they can express themselves. We saw a very, very similar timeline versus Leeds only 3 weekends ago. And they managed to get that opening goal. The second came, and then after that, it was showtime. It feels like for the next 40 minutes, it might be showtime here at the Emirates. Now we'll go top of the league with this win here. Momentarily, but they will go top of the league. Once again, it could be another clean sheet for Arsenal. He kept one at Old Trafford. Kept one here versus Leeds in the second day. And if it wasn't for Dominic Szoboszlai's weldy against Liverpool last week, it would have kept a clean sheet there as well. That back four is doing its job. One of them being Calafiori. He's running away here. Met by Elliot Anderson again doing defensive duties. Dan Ndoye can stretch his legs. The Swiss speeds they can get in behind. It's just hit. Oh, Wood. And it's come off the upright. Oh, they haven't cleared it. That's Hudson Ndoye. And what a chance for Mosquera. Chaos on the back for Arsenal. Chris Wood almost had that bounce off him into the net. Here comes Ethan Wanyera. Haven't seen much of him since coming on. Noni Madueke, probably player of the game so far. Tricky feat from him. Wanyeri twisting shots and never really looked likely. End to end now at the Emirates. Off the crossbar, I think Raya gets a touch. That is a really good save. There's almost a lifeline there for Forest. But just for a moment, Arsenal looking too vulnerable. There is a real chance here for Forest. Dan Ndoye has looked the most dangerous getting in behind. I think Elliot Anderson needs to get the ball at his feet as much as possible. He has been simply sensational in this one. Morato. Here is Anderson. The English international away from one challenge and to his centre-back. That's better. Last 10 minutes. Nearly 60% of the ball to Forest. They're growing into this game at a very slow rate, but they're growing nonetheless. One of the most underwhelming halves of football I've seen for them. That alongside last week's second half, you can put them together. It's been a poor 90 minutes. Savona's gone away from Calafiori, and that's an Italian on Italian crime. That's a foul and a free kick here, and a dangerous spot for Forest. Just turning up the wick now. Here's the automated offside. He's on. Great run. A great cross across that 6-yard box to find the big Swede. And that's his job, really, just to get in around the 6-yard box, put balls into the back of the net. That's his third goal of the season. It's Elliot Anderson over this one. Darren England just having a chat with those in the box. He doesn't want any funny business here. Tell what, the opening 10 minutes of this second half has been better than the full 45 of the first. Chances at both ends. What can Anderson produce? It's dipping, and Savona just didn't jump. Timber gets back underway. Here's Anderson again. You see how Forest respond here. It's a great ping from Elliot Anderson, and Dan enjoys on the stretch, but once again, it looks like they're looking to the Swiss international to try and find a way through. Scara, Wanyeri. Here is Ethan Wanyeri. Marino's got a paddock in midfield. Decides to ignore him and go to Noni Madueke. He's been met by Nico Williams. Had a bit more of a tough time with the proper fullback defending him since the half-hour mark. Marino. Calafiori again. Touch on the corner from Eze was absolutely fabulous. Marino. Ball in. Wanyeri. And that's up somewhere in the second tier. Great touch from Eze. That's what he brings. Real trickery, real smart on the football. That ability to find the pass, know where the pass is going to go. See it early. The finish from Wanyeri, very poor. Some of his standard. That's what you sort of want to see from Arsenal. More creation like that from open play. More danger like that, one-touch stuff. I often see it. We didn't see much of it the first half. Madueke and Eze have provided that so far in this game. Here's Yuri and Timber. Wanyeri. Calafiori galloping on again. It's the Italian whipping that ball towards the Gyökeres region. Comes out all the way to Madueke. Got Nico Williams backpedaling. Still Madueke. Still Sangare away. Now Forest have to work their way out. Anderson. Hudson-Odoi now. Almost subs a clock, you think, for Nottingham Forest. Murray Hutchison potentially off the bench. Could be an option. Kilawendo as well looked dangerous in his short stint when he came on versus Crystal Palace 2 weeks ago. There are options out there on the bench if they need it. Danny Doy is one of the best so far. One way to the next, and then bodied over by Gabriel. Bit of a walk into the Premier League type moment. There from Gabriel. Eze. Finding Victor Gyökeres. He's then going to go join the Swedish international. Gyökeres still. Noni Madueke. He'll look to find his left foot. Madueke. Gyökeres. Gyökeres! Oh! And that's hit the stanchion. Lots of movement. And the Gunners fans up and applauding. That's great work from Victor Gyökeres. That's sharp. That's dangerous. It's the upright in the end. He has thundered that in. And I reckon that goes on target. That's the back of the net. That's better from Arsenal. Bakwa on and Calamawendo on as well. And it's Hudson-Odoi off and Chris Wood off as well. Bakwa and Calamawendo, some French league talent entering the fray. Nottingham Forest in the hour mark. That grimacing face of man is probably the story of the game for Nottingham Forest. It's been a slug. Oh, Wanyeri, great ball early to find Abarache Round the corner for Calafiori. That ball whipped in. Oh, no one obliged. A great ball nonetheless from the Italian. It's bounced off Calamawendo. Here's Bakwa. Going to turn away from Calafiori. Does well, really well. A foul there from Calafiori. He'll pick up a yellow. That's a bright start for the new man. Arsenal have looked very, very good in the second half. Much more fluid, much more flowing. So Arsenal fans will be happy with that. Forest have always had their moments in the second half. They look much better. There's still a chance they can find a goal back in this game and make it a real grandstand finish. There is Douglas Luiz. Yet to see his impact on Nottingham Forest yet. That's a poor giveaway. Mikel Moreno. Gyökeres. Bakwa in the way well. Savona. Milenkovic. Forest look to play their way out here. Oh, that ball from Sangare is just poor. He probably next to make way, you'd think. He's looked like a bit of a passenger today. So it's Calamawendo leading the line. Danny Doy's gone out left. Bakwa on the right-hand side. Obviously, you know that Gibbs White will be playing in behind the centre forward, and it's Sangare midfield still. Marino. Eza. Floated ball across the ground to find Madueke, and that London sunshine disappear quickly. It's quite heavy rain at the moment. Thrills and some spills down with the rain. Madueke. Repelled by Marato. Out as far as Gabriel. Holds off Calamawendo. Feeds Calafiori. Arsenal just pinging around at the moment. Bit of kick ball. Mosquera. Very much in control here. Marato has done well there. Sangare took too long on it. Nipped in by both former Sociedad players, Marino and Zubamendi. And once again, a bit of kick ball for the Gunners. Martin Zubamendi. Ethan Wanyeri now. Little dink pass. Finding Eza. Wanyeri, Marino. Back with Eza. Really in control here. Madueke's on the far side. A lot of space. Eza away from one. Eza away from two. And fouled, you'd think. Darren England says no. You would have thought Eza would have had a firm liking to that position as well for a free kick. Remembering back a few weeks ago at Chelsea. Wearing the red and the blue of Crystal Palace. Not to beat. Bright debut for Eza. Much better second half, much more involved. Here's Dan and Doy. He's have a tough time with things with Yuri and Timber. Closing him down. That's the theme of everything with Arsenal. Whoever you're facing, if you're a forward for the opposition, it's tough. Mosquera has been fabulous. Gabriel, ever consistent. Calafiori and Timber are just so big and so quick for players in their position. That's a great ball to find Sangare. And that pass is just behind. Again, he's been very poor in the football today. Wanyeri. And Timber has some green grass ahead of him to stroll into. So does Noni Madueke. He skips past Nico Williams. The cutback's on. In the end, Nico Williams gets back for the perfect challenge. Once again, though, Madueke, such a threat down that right-hand side. Arsenal much more fluid today. Really good. He just looks much more consistent than he did at Chelsea. Madueke over this one. It's a low fizzer, which Gyökeres gets a touch on, and Matt tells her to get a touch on that. I'll go kick. There's the linesman. So maybe not. And looks like Miles or Skelly will be next on, probably replacing the yellow-carded Ricardo Calafiori. Here's Calamawendo. Snapshot block behind another corner for Nottingham Forest. It's back over this one. .22 and change to go. Backwards ball. Met by Victor Gyökeres. Doing the hard yards defensively as well as scoring today. So it is Miles Lewis Skelly on, and it is Ricardo Calafiori off. Teenager on in to replace the man who's made that left back spot his own. Last year, he started in position, replaced by Lewis Skelly, but he's got his spot back. And it's Victor Gyökeres off to find the back of the net, and it's Declan Rice on. He'll get 22 minutes to warm the legs up in preparation for Champions League action midweek. So you'd think Marino will go in and play the false nine. Through von Savona. Met by Gabriel. Marino is running out of green grass. Keep that in. Addison. Another mistake from Savona. He just peppered the throw in it. the chest of Elliot Anderson. Even the great Elliot Anderson couldn't get that ball under control. Straight. So questions now for Ange. Questions now for Forest. Injuries to Aina, injuries to Murillo. Real helpless display. Poor 45 versus West Ham as well. Back-to-back losses, conceding goals, unable to score goals. They were a team that were very good from the start last year and held on. And they've sort of been in hold-on mode at the start of this season. The big noticeable result was obviously Kane versus Brentford, who we think are going to be relegation fodder. So worries about this Forest side and what they can do. Bakwa, cutting inside well. Great whipped in ball. Mosquera's done fabulously well to deny Gibbs White or down and do at the back post. The Valencia man, boy, he's been good. And that pass to me is probably the best of the day. Declan Rice can turn now. There's Eza on the left. Cutting inside. Looking to feed Merino. Broken up in the end, and Matt Sells searches for down into at the pitch. Gibbs White looking very flat. He's been chasing lost causes all day. Under 20 to go now, though. And there's really been dominance and control the whole day for Arsenal. Lewis Skelly with Christian Mosquera. Much happier with their second half though, Arsenal. More of this is, I think, what I want and what people want to be convinced that this team is all that. I felt a lot of the same in recent times. Able to create from open play, slow, sideways football. I don't want to be that guy, but a certain Odegaard disappeared off the pitch and all of a sudden they became much more fluid. Madueke cutting inside. Marino's on the edge of the area. If he still wants him, Marino's still there. Madueke lays it off. Urian Timber! Oh. And Declan Rice just sliding it at the back stick. Could have been his goal. I don't know if it was a shot turn cross or a cross turn shot, but in the end, Declan Rice looked the most dangerous. Oh. My God, it was inches away. Could have been 3. Probably should have been 3. If the cross was much better. Morato finding Milenkovic. Now Savona. This game almost wrapped up. Obviously, the focus shifts now for Arsenal. Domestically, City in 8 days. James McAtee and Ryan Yates. So, midfield industry to come on. And Gibbs White off. And Sangare off the industrious Ryan Yates, who's always a present figure in this side. Skipper on. Still no Douglas Luiz though. Eza. Just a miscommunication with the Spanish Marino. But as I was saying, yeah, Arsenal have City next week. Massive game for both those sides. It could be huge if City lose this weekend. Or don't pick up full 3 points versus United tomorrow. But also, as I said, Bilbao, Athletic Club midweek in the Champions League. And next week for Nottingham Forest. I don't think it gets too much easier, especially with this game, with these games, this season in the Premier League. The bottom sides being very competitive. Burnley and Sunderland, so much easier actually. Away at Burnley and then at home to Sunderland. So maybe, just maybe, is that their avenue to find a few more points? You think if they want to be as competitive as they were last year, you need 6 out of those next 2. Timber's done well. He's kept that one off Elliot Anderson. Here's Madueke. Timber gets it back. No, he doesn't. Here's a corner in the end. Morata's had to touch up behind. He's had an awful day at the office. Awful day. Started at left back. Got torn apart by Madueke. And has gone to centre half and made a few mistakes. Including that one there. Another Madueke corner. Arsenal have attempted from all 8 of their corners so far. It's a low one. And a poor one at that. And a foul on Nico Williams. Well, one from Gabriel. Wanyeri. He's just grinding to this game since coming on. Gabriel. Eza. Well, that's fantastic to get past Savona. And the ball whipped in. Wanyeri there. Didn't quite get connection. Makati, Madueke. Anderson under trouble. And escapes it to find James Makati. And he win a throw. Off Yuri and Timber. Well played from the Forest combination. For Forest, as I said, a lot of questions. I guess one being, what are we going to get? Is this the new Ange football? A bit more defensive, a bit more like what we saw in the Europa League quarter, semi and final. Or is it just a case of not enough time with the lads, a big team? We're going to get more attacking football to come. This has looked more like the Nuno Espirito Santo football we saw of last season, without the real dangerous linking up counter-attack which we saw last season. I think that's been the biggest miss today for Nottingham Forest. They have not looked connected. Outside of Elliot Anderson, really no one's gotten involved and been a part of the build-up. Martinelli and Trossard, I'm hearing, readying themselves. So look at the 2 wingers will come off. 2 new men have had a great day today. Could get better here with Madueke. And he's brought down by Nico Williams. That's a yellow card, you think, and it is. Madueke has that ball on a string today. That will bother Chelsea fans. How well he's done, considering how poor he was last season. I dare say it, but it's looked like a performance of a champion side. There's a standing ovation for Nottingham Madueke. How a fortnight can change things. And Eza off and Leandro Trossard on. Just look at the depth this Arsenal side now. Leandro Trossard, the man you always want from the bench, it feels like. And you got Martinelli as well. So much quality in this side. Wanyeri tees it up. Declan Rice. Trossard from the bench. Great whipped in ball. And connected with! And that's a Zubimendi double! Would you believe it? The Spanish sensation has made it 2 on the day. And they will go top of the pop. And a Zubimendi header to back up a Zubimendi rocket in the first half. Stunning Arsenal today. Awesome Arsenal. Had all these stats in the first half. He's only got 11 goals. None from outside the box. And then he scored 1 from outside the box in the first half. And then a rocket bullet header in the second half. Fabulous. Rise and head connection on the ball. Sells no chance. Takes another touch off Williams that takes it right up into the corner. And Arsenal are deserving of all 3 goals. They've been the much better side today. And Martin Zubimendi, well, what a signing that one's proving out to be. It's a fault-full Forest today. They've been far from their best. And the score, I think, now finally indicates sort of the balance of proceedings here. There's the chance of Tottenham in disguise ring out at the Emirates. And Jazz has some work to do. I think this Forest has some work to do as well. This isn't the character or the flow of what we saw for them last season. Gabriel away. Arsenal will reset. Bakwa. And with McAtee. The former Citizen do. Savona. It's Bakwa. Drilled into McAtee. It's a good little ball. McAtee away from one challenge. Not the second from Gabriel. And Gabriel Martinelli is away. Forest have to backpedal. Dan and Joyce put in a massive shift to get back there. Fair play from the Swiss. Tries to shoot for Declan Rice. Trossard. Try to replicate it. Dinking that ball in, but Martinelli slipped. And Dan Doyle can usher that one away for a Forest goal kick. Anderson. It's a searching ball. Finding no one in particular. Back with David Raya. Seen 3 goals within dominance from Arsenal today. It's been their day. They'll end this one on top of the league. And deservedly so. As I said, one of their better performances of this season. And Doy. Oh, good ball. Takes it across to Bakwa. Out of the few bright sparks of Nottingham Forest, you'd have to think Elliot Anderson and Dan and Doy have been those two. They've looked to take the game on, looked to make things happen. Dan and Doy, not as tight in the first 45, but has at least tried and given them something from the flank, a spark, an energy which just hasn't been present throughout this side. Mattel's looking long. Callum Wendo direction. He flicks the header on, but David Wright come and collect that. It'll be a awful afternoon bus journey back to Nottingham for those fans in the away end. They probably came expecting some excitement. Expecting Ange Postecoglou to change things, to make it a little bit more aggressive, front-footed. But it's been a blunt Forest display. A numbing Nottingham display. Ranieri initially broken up by Ndoye, but one back. There is Bukayo Saka. There is William Saliba. Big names missing, but big result nonetheless. Lewis Skelly, Trossard now. You think maybe next weekend against Man City, you might see at least one of those two back. This is truly junk time now. I did predict a 3-0 result. I had that going into this game here. Oh, how to say that? Ryan Yates. Oh, was a foul. Other games coming up in the next bunch. Bournemouth and Brighton, a South close clash there. Palace play Sunderland, Everton host Aston Villa, Fulham and Leeds. And then you've got Newcastle and Wolves in the later games, West Ham and Spurs, Brentford and Chelsea. And tomorrow, Liverpool travel to Turf Moor and the Manchester derby, United and City. Ref cam there. As it stands, I'm getting 3 from 3 points. The first game here. Perfect scoreline. I've just realised I've put the Manchester derby prediction in the wrong order. Yeah, 2-1 Bournemouth over Brighton, 2-1 Palace over Sunderland, 2-2 Everton Villa, 2-0 Fulham over Leeds, 4-0 Newcastle over Wolves, West Ham to go down 2-0 at home to Spurs, 3-1 Chelsea win at the GTEC, and for tomorrow, 4-1 Liverpool over Burnley, and 3-0 City over United. Expect some goals this weekend, I feel like. Some mismatches in some games. It's Martinelli. Ball looking for Trossard. He, for a minute, thought to outstretch that left foot, but thought otherwise. Kept it alive, though. Good touch there from Savannah. Now Bakwa. Dribbled himself momentarily in a bit of trouble, then found Elliot Anderson. He found James McAtee, and this is a much more promising, flowing Forest move. Callum Wendo. Arsenal back in numbers and back quickly to the rapturous applause of those at the Emirates. McAtee, Yates. Is there a consolation at the end of the day here for Nottingham Forest? I don't think they've deserved it, but they could get it. You know Arsenal are, they love their clean sheets. They're built off defence. Anderson. Declan Rice in there snapping away. Mikel Moreno. And drew a shoulder barge by Elliot Anderson. That's a stinger. A lot of beard scratching fans Postecoglou today. A lot of questions. Really has not helped anyone, I don't think, at that football club, this performance and display today. Christian Mosquera. As we enter the last minute and a half of the 90. Don't expect too much stoppage time. There's the stats of Martin Zubimendi. 43 touches. Basically every blade of grass covered for him today, including the 2 goals. That belter from outside the box and the header at the back stick. I think he's going in the MVP vote for this week. You can catch that Premier League review show on Monday. Antonio's back for that episode. Recap the Manchester derby. We'll have to definitely talk about this Arsenal performance and display, especially for Martin Zubimendi. I guess the worries for Ange Postecoglou and Nottingham Forest as well. And a classic turn of events in London, the sun's back out. Rumors of 4 minutes of stoppage time for their substitutions. 4 minutes for Forest to try and keep Arsenal at bay. Yuri and Timber. Wanyeri tees up a cross. It wasn't really a cross or a shot in the end and floated out of play for a goal kick. Seconds into this 4 stoppage time. Promising though here for Arsenal. Really has been today. There's 2 things always worried about them. Oh, as Declan Rice wins that ball back. Here's a real chance. Rice threads in Leandro Trossard for 4. Trossard. No penalty, says the referee. Searching for the contact and went down too easy, says Darren England. But yeah, with Arsenal, obviously the big teams is the big problem. That's why next week's massive for them. Home to City. But also it's about how they put teams away. And today they really have put Forest away. Not giving them an inch, and they've better rest Declan Rice. Obviously missing Saka and Saliba. In years gone past, this game probably ends 0-0, 1-0 or 1-1. But 3-0 display and dominance throughout. That's a sign of development. And the players they brought in. Zubimendi double. Gyökeres goal. Assist by Eza. It is the complete package for them today. A lot of long faces in that Forest away end. They are going to be a very keen watch across the next few weeks. What is the go with Ange and his style of football? What is the go with Nottingham Forest and their performances? Underwhelming at Palace. Awful versus West Ham. To put it bluntly, probably awful again today. And they beat up on a very poor Brentford side opening weekend. Just got to wonder, was it the manager or was it the playing group? And what is the best 11 for this side here? Kalawendo. Nico Williams looks to tee that one up. Blocked by Marino, who just lost it in the sun. Milenkovic touch, poor. Oh, the fans wanted it threaded through for Martinelli. They might still get that. Morata hasn't dealt with it. Look to be fed at the back. And Sells just gets out in time. And collecting. That will probably see us through to the end of this game. Poor pass from Milenkovic, broken up by Rice. Can he cap this performance off here, Declan Rice? Look to throw it through Ethan Wanyeri. That should just about do us for this Saturday midday kickoff, unless there's a one more attack here. Callum Wendo struck that straight at Gabriel. He's chasing that down to the last second. He tries to rise the troops in the crowd. And that's that. What a day for Arsenal. In a game that could have been a slipping hazard, they went and shone. Arteta's new men did the job. Zubimendi, rocket in the first half. 45 seconds of the second half, it was Eza to find Victor Gyökeres. And then Zubimendi said, you know what, I'll do it again. He headed home at the back post around the hour mark to make it a 3-0 display, dominant throughout. Ange and Forest have a lot more problems to try and solve next week. But those new faces at the Emirates got the job done today. Arsenal are top of the league, a dominant 3-0 display, and a lot of very happy faces for those wearing red today. Fabulous from Forest, fabulous from Arsenal, disappointing from Forest. Thanks for joining me all, guys. Sorry it wasn't a crazy soccer Saturday. There were some great games in recent times. Tomorrow, though, join me exclusively on YouTube. Super Sunday, Torino and Roma. A Serie A clash to be excited about. That one should be absolutely engaging from start to finish. It's ended 3-0 here. The Gunners too good. Forest, a lot of questions to come. Until next time, guys. I'll see you guys later.